Today's Midday Kentucky Cooking segment brought to you by Creative Kitchen and Bath, where you will always cook in style.
All right, we are here at Creative Kitchen with our expert Chef Allison Davis.
Too kind.
No, it's too much the truth, because even more so exemplified when you're standing next to me.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, what are we making today?
Well, we've been talking about all these Mediterranean dishes, and I didn't think I could finish out a week of Mediterranean dishes without doing a true Mediterranean, like lamb rub or Greek leg of lamb.
It's always a favorite.
Yeah, and this is also, you know, if you think about like Easter and spring and like dishes for that particular holiday, I mean, honestly, any holiday, this is a nice kind of amped up meat option.
Oh, yeah.
Option.
And it's different. It's not something that people expect all the time, but I feel like people crave.
Right. So we're going to do a rub for our lamb.
Oh.
And I've got just some nice little lamb loin chops here that we can showcase. And then I have a leg of lamb here that I've already cooked off and has a nice crust on it. And that's really from the rub, which is what we're going to do. And we're just going to mix it up in this little bowl here. But really, I think the biggest part of what makes a true, great, delicious lamb is in the rub, in the herbs.
There are so many herbs here, and they all smell so good.
And it could be any kind of combination that you want. So I'm going to start with some fresh parsley. I've got some fresh mint.
Is there a proper technique when you're chopping up herbs? Because for me, you know darn well, it ends up all over the place.
Well, really, it's just getting them more fine and not so like much of a rough chop.
So the smaller the better.
Yeah, I mean, dill is a little bit delicate to where you honestly could probably break it up and not have to chop it. But I mean, if you've got a really sharp knife, it's just going to make it more convenient and a little faster for you. So I'm just going to finish up with a little dill. I've got our mint. I mean, honestly, I think I'm getting every herb that you can possibly find.
You are. It smells like a garden in here.
Exactly. So I've got some fresh oregano. I think fresh oregano is one of the keys. Fresh oregano, mint, and dill. Those are three that I think is absolutely key when you're talking about Greek herbs. All right. So then once we get all of these herbs in the bowl, I'm going to add a bit of fresh garlic, because the garlic is also key. I think the more garlic, the better.
Yes.
When it comes to your rub.
And happy heart.
Right. And then mustard. So mustard has a key ingredient in the fact that the mustard is going to be what gives it that nice crust, as you can see.
That creamy.
Well, it's almost like crust up, as you can see in the leg of lamb. And that really, I think, comes from the mustard into the rub. All right.
Any kind of mustard?
I like Dijon mustard. I think it's got a nice spice to it. And then we're going to add just a touch of Worcestershire sauce. I like that with all of my kind of like heartier meat rubs, because it's just more balanced, and I think, you know, us country folk like a little A1 now and again on our steak.
Hey,
so this kind of brings that into our rub a little
I'm just glad you said that and not me, because
it's so true, though.
The way that word comes out of my mouth is not as pretty as yours.
All right, so then I am going to finish seasoning this mix up with a little salt and pepper, and then if you would, we're just going to add in that olive oil.
Into this?
And the olive oil is going to help to just bring it all together like a paste.
Is there a certain amount we should be adding?
You're going to just keep going until you kind of have a nice mixture there. You'll see how it starts to thin out.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
A little bit more.
Oh.
Yeah.
More olive oil.
Yeah, well, you got to think, like, this is enough to go over an entire leg of lamb.
And it's going to cook off as well, won't it?
So that's good. So you see how that just thins it out? Almost like a pesto consistency.
It smells so good.
All right, and so this is your rub, and so you can do this two ways. What I like to do, and I'll go ahead and turn our burner on here.
I'll get away because we know what will happen.
Okay, so what I like to do on our lamb is I like to actually sear them off first. So like with the leg of lamb, I took a cast iron pan and I seared it off to get it brown on all sides. And then I'll put the rub on it, and then I'll finish it in the oven.
I see, to make it cook quicker.
Right, so if you put the rub on now and then you put it on a hot pan or you sear it, it's just gonna like
burn it off,
yeah,
right?
And it's gonna get all these bits all over your pan and all over your grill. So I always like to mark it first and then rub it down and then finish it in the oven to the proper temperature.
Smart.
And for a leg of lamb, I typically go to about 125 degrees in the center because I like a nice medium rare.
So you just use a meat temperature?
A meat thermometer, that's right.
A thermometer.
We'll get her there. All right, you guys know where to find this recipe. It's at middaykentucky.com/recipes tab. I'm Chef Allison Davis.
I am Amber. Thank you so much. Again, this smells great. Try it. Stay with us, Midday Kentucky will be right back.